Have you ever felt like you are running in place, pouring your energy into the world, only to receive silence in return? You work hard, you are patient, you try to be a good person. Yet the results you desire, the recognition, the respect, the victory, remain just out of reach. By the end of this video, you will have 9 distinct ways to shift your focus from the external noise to your internal growth, creating a life so powerful that victory will have no choice but to find you. But what if the very thing you are chasing is running away from you because you are looking in the wrong direction? Life is a battlefield of distraction. You are constantly bombarded with the curated highlights of everyone else's journey. You see the promotions, the relationships, the financial wins, and the peaceful smiles of people you have never met. And in the quiet moments of comparison, a subtle poison begins to seep into your mind. You begin to question your own pace. You wonder if you are falling behind. You feel a deep, aching anxiety that you are not where you are supposed to be. This is the pain of external validation. It is the exhausting cycle of performing for an audience that is not watching and seeking approval from a world that is perpetually indifferent. You find yourself reacting to disrespect. You let the opinions of others dictate your self-worth. You are trying to control the uncontrollable, and it is draining the life out of you. Not a failure of ambition, it is a failure of orientation. You have been taught to look outward for victory, to measure your progress by the yardstick of society. But ancient wisdom tells us a different story. It tells us that the only thing truly within your control is your own character, your own actions, and your own mind. The world will do what it does. People will say what they say. But the power to define your success has always rested within you. The Stoics understood this with profound clarity. They lived in a world of emperors and slaves, of war and plague. They knew that external circumstances were fleeting and unreliable. They knew that if you build your house on the sand of public opinion, it will collapse. But if you build it on the rock of your own virtue, it will stand firm against any storm. This is the foundation of everything we are about to explore. To truly understand this shift in perspective, we must turn to the master of the inner citadel, the emperor-philosopher Marcus Aurelius. In his personal journal, a work never meant for public eyes, he wrote a line that cuts through the noise of 2,000 years. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Read that again. You have power over your mind, not outside events. This is the core of Stoic philosophy. It is not about being passive. It is not about giving up. It is about a radical reclamation of your agency. Think of this ancient wisdom not as a museum piece, but as the foundation of a university that has existed for millennia. This university is open to anyone willing to learn. The curriculum is simple. It teaches you that the only true failure is a failure of character. The only true victory is a victory over your own passions. Modern English translation: your thoughts are the only things you own. Else, your reputation, your money, your health, the actions of others is on loan from fate. If you place your happiness in those things, you become a hostage to fortune. But if you place it in your own reason, your own judgment, your own inner resilience, you become free. You become the master of your own life. This is not a hopeful theory. It is a tested solution. It is the method by which people have endured the worst hardships and emerged stronger. So how do you apply this ancient university to your modern life? How do you focus on your growth so intensely that victory, in its truest form, must eventually find you? Here are 9 principles that will transform your perspective and forge an unbreakable you. 1. Reclaim your agency by disciplining your attention. The modern world is an attention economy. Every notification, every news story, every social media post is designed to pull your focus away from what matters and into a state of reaction. This is the opposite of growth. To focus on your growth, you must first guard your attention like a fortress. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that you should pay attention to your ruling center. He meant your mind, the part of you that chooses how to respond to the world. Imagine you are in a meeting and a colleague makes a passive-aggressive comment about your work. The natural reaction is to feel anger, to feel insulted, to mentally rehearse your rebuttal. This is a theft of attention. It takes you out of the present moment and places you in a fantasy of conflict. By instead disciplining your attention, you can acknowledge the comment without letting it hijack your mind. See it as data about the speaker, not a judgment about you. This small shift in focus, practiced over and over, builds the muscle of inner resilience. It puts you in control of your own energy. It is the first step on the path to victory. But what is the hidden cost of letting your mind be a public park for anyone to litter in? We will explore that next. 2. Reframe the obstacle as the way. One of the most profound concepts in Stoicism is the idea that the obstacle is the way. This is not a clever mantra, it is a practical tool for turning every challenge into fuel for your growth. Seneca wrote, "The mind is a thing that grows by difficulties." When you encounter a problem, your first instinct is to resist it, to wish it away. This resistance creates internal friction and suffering. The Stoic approach is different. It says, this obstacle is not in your way. It is your way. This problem is your curriculum. This frustration is your teacher. Think about it. You do not build muscles by lifting feathers. You build strength by encountering resistance. You do not learn patience by being in a quiet room. You learn patience by being stuck in traffic. You do not develop courage in the absence of fear. You develop it by acting in spite of it. Facing a difficult project at work, do not see it as an overwhelming burden. See it as an opportunity to sharpen your discipline, to expand your skills, to prove your value to yourself. If you are dealing with a toxic person, do not see them as an obstacle to your peace. See them as a masterclass in emotional control. By accepting the challenge and using it as raw material for growth, you transform a source of pain into a source of power. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are an artist working with the clay of reality. But how can you maintain this perspective when the obstacle feels so large and overwhelming? The answer lies in focusing on what you can control. Number 3, focus on the process, not the prizes. Victory is a byproduct of excellent process. It is not an end goal you can simply will into existence. The ancient Stoics would say that you should focus on being your best self and let the outcome take care of itself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not be concerned with the result. It is the action that is valuable." This is a hard pill to swallow in a world obsessed with outcomes. We are trained to believe that if we just want something badly enough and we work hard enough, we will get it. But life does not work that way. Sometimes you do everything right and you still fail. Sometimes the market crashes. Sometimes the person you love does not love you back. Sometimes your body betrays you. If your happiness is tied solely to the external result, you are setting yourself up for inevitable suffering. Instead, shift your focus to the process. Define victory as showing up. Define victory as doing the work to the best of your ability. Define victory as maintaining your integrity no matter the outcome. If you are a writer, define victory as writing for an hour a day, not getting published. If you are an athlete, define victory as giving your best effort in training, not winning the championship. If you are building a business, define victory as making smart decisions and serving your customers, not hitting a revenue target. When you focus on the process, you are always in control, you are always making progress. And paradoxically, by relinquishing your attachment to the outcome, you often create the very conditions for victory to find you. But what happens when the process becomes monotonous and your motivation fades? How do you stay on the path? The answer is not motivation. It is something far more reliable. Number 4. Cultivate self-discipline through small daily habits. Epictetus once said, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen." Growth is incremental. Victory is the accumulation of thousands of small, seemingly insignificant choices. It is not a single grand gesture. It is the sum of daily disciplines. Do not underestimate the power of small habits. Getting up 30 minutes earlier to meditate or read. Choosing the healthy meal over the convenient one. Taking 5 minutes to plan your day. Responding with kindness instead of anger. These small actions compound over time. They are the daily deposits you make into the bank account of your character. On any given day, they might not feel significant, but over a year, over a decade, they will transform you. Think of it this way. Cannot control whether you win the championship, but you can control whether you show up to practice every day. You cannot control whether you land the promotion, but you can control whether you arrive on time and give your best effort every single day. Focus on the inputs, trust the outputs. This is the Stoic formula for consistent growth. It is not glamorous, but it is effective. By becoming a master of your daily routine, you become a master of your life. But what about the people in your life who do not support your growth? What about those who seem to want you to fail? The next principle will show you how to handle them. Number 5. Practice the art of Stoic indifference towards the opinions of others. This is perhaps the most liberating and the most difficult of all the Stoic practices. The philosopher Epictetus taught a powerful exercise. He said that when you are praised or criticized by someone, you should ask yourself, what do I think of myself? The opinions of others are just that, opinions. They are not facts. They are not you. They are external events, completely outside of your control. When you focus on your growth, you will inevitably attract criticism. People will be confused by your changes. They might feel threatened by your progress. They might try to pull you back to your old self. Their resistance is a sign that you are growing. It is a test of your conviction. If you value the good opinion of others more than your own integrity, you are lost. You will shape-shift to please a constantly changing audience, and you will lose yourself in the process. The Stoic practice of indifference does not mean you do not care about people. On the contrary, it means you care about them too much to let their opinions dictate your life. You remain open to constructive feedback. You listen, but you do not let the judgments of others define you. Your value is not determined by their approval. Your value is determined by your own character. When you stop seeking validation from the outside world, you free up an enormous amount of energy to focus on your actual growth. You stop performing and start living. You become immune to the slings and arrows of outrageous opinion. But what about when the criticism you face is not just an opinion, but active disrespect or an attack? How does a Stoic handle that? Reframe disrespect as a learning opportunity. Marcus Aurelius said, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil." This is not a pessimistic outlook, it is a realistic one. It is a morning inoculation against the disappointment of dealing with difficult people. When someone disrespects you, your ego screams for retaliation. It wants to defend itself. It wants to even the score. But acting on this impulse is a sign of weakness. It means the other person has successfully provoked you. They have pulled you down to their level. The Stoic response is to see the disrespect as a test. The person who disrespects you is giving you a perfect opportunity to practice patience, to practice humility, and to practice self-control. Do not take it personally. Behavior is a reflection of their own internal state, not a reflection of your worth. A person who is full of anger and resentment will project that onto the world. Their disrespect is a cry for help. It is an expression of their own pain. By refusing to be offended, you refuse to be a participant in their dysfunction. You remain calm. You remain centered. You remain focused on your own growth. This is how you disarm a verbal attack. You do not win by fighting back. You win by not playing the game at all. But what if the one disrespecting you is a person you love? What if you cannot simply walk away? The next principle is about inner boundaries. Number 7, build an inner citadel of unshakable peace. This is the central metaphor of Stoicism, and it is the ultimate goal of your personal growth. Your mind is a fortress. You are the only one who can grant or deny entry. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A person's true greatness lies in the awareness of an inner world." He called it the inner citadel. It is the place within you where reason resides, where your values are held, and where your true self is anchored. No one can enter this fortress without your permission. When you are overwhelmed by external events, you are effectively leaving the gate of your fortress open. You are allowing the chaos of the world to rush in and disturb your peace. You are giving your power away. The practice of building your inner citadel is a practice of vigilance. It is the constant act of closing the gate to external noise and opening it only to what is true, good, and within your control. This does not mean you become an unfeeling robot. It means you feel things deeply, but you do not let them control you. You observe the emotions as they arise, anger, fear, sadness, and you choose whether to act on them. You are the master of your inner world. You are not a slave to your impulses. This inner strength is the source of true peace. It is the foundation upon which all your growth is built. When your inner world is stable, nothing in the outer world can truly shake you. But how can you build this fortress when life is so loud and demanding? The next principle will give you a practical daily exercise to strengthen your walls. 8. Use negative visualization to strengthen your resilience. This is a powerful and often misunderstood Stoic technique. The Romans called it premeditatio malorum, which translates to the premeditation of evils. It is the practice of actively imagining the worst-case scenarios in your life. This might sound like a recipe for anxiety, but in its proper use, it is the exact opposite. It is a tool for building profound gratitude and resilience. Seneca wrote, "He who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." By vividly imagining losing something you value, your job, your health, your loved one, you inoculate yourself against the shock of a potential loss. You realize how much you have to be grateful for in the present moment. You stop taking things for granted. The idea is not to dwell on the negative, but to prepare your mind to face it. It is a form of mental rehearsal for adversity. It's a direct application of focusing on your growth. By mentally rehearsing challenges, you are training your mind to be calm and resourceful under pressure. You are building the mental muscle you will need if the worst actually happens. And if the worst does not happen, you have a renewed appreciation for what you have. You are no longer a slave to the fear of loss. You are prepared. You are strong. You are free. We have covered 8 principles of intense personal growth. There is one final principle, the most powerful one, which ties all the others together. Number 9, embrace the power of loving your fate. This is the summit of Stoic practice. It is called Amor Fati, the love of fate. It means to embrace everything that happens to you, the good, the bad, and the ugly, with a wholehearted yes. This is not passive acceptance, it is active embrace. It is not just tolerating reality, it is loving it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is transformation, life is opinion." The Stoics believed that the universe unfolds according to a rational principle. They called it the Logos. Even if we cannot see the bigger picture, everything happens for a reason that is ultimately good. Your job is not to complain about the hand you are dealt. Your job is to play it to the best of your ability. Every challenge is a gift. Every obstacle is an opportunity. Everything is fuel for your growth. When you embrace Amor, Fati, you stop fighting reality. You stop wishing things were different. You stop feeling like a victim. You say, this is what is happening. Now, how can I use this to become better? How can I grow from this? You see the entire tapestry of your life as perfect, even the threads that seem dark and tangled. You trust the process. You surrender your will to the will of the universe. This is the ultimate freedom. It is the ultimate victory. So far, we have covered the foundational principles of reclaiming your agency, reframing the obstacle as the way, and focusing on the process over the prizes. We have explored the power of self-discipline, the art of indifference to opinion, and how to reframe disrespect as a test. We have discussed the inner citadel and the potent practice of negative visualization. The final principle, Amor, Fati, is the one nobody expects, because it asks you not just to accept your fate, but to love it. It is the ultimate act of surrender that leads to ultimate power. Not someone who is acted upon. You are someone who responds. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are an artist shaping your character in the medium of life. Victory is not a destination you reach. It is a state of being. It is the knowledge that you are living according to your highest values. It is the peace that comes from knowing you have done your best with what you have been given. The only person you are competing with is the person you were yesterday. Let others run their races. Let the world chase its shadows. Your focus is on one thing and one thing only, becoming the best version of yourself. Through this, victory will find you. Not the fleeting victory of applause and accolades, but the true, unshakable victory of character. The victory of living a life you are proud of. The victory of inner peace. This is the Stoic promise. It is not an easy path, but it is the only path worth walking. So, begin today. Turn your gaze inward. Focus on your growth. And watch as the world aligns itself with your newfound strength. Memento mori, amor fati. The obstacle is the way. If this philosophy has resonated with you, consider joining our community of modern Stoics. Like this video, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to continue this journey with us. In our next video, we will explore how to handle the heavy weights of expectation and guilt. Until then, stay strong, stay focused, and keep growing. We will speak soon.